Wholesome, nutritious food is what's on the menu today. Chef Jon and his culinary team are going to show us how to make some really easy food, Colorado food banks, of course, and work to ensure that kids get the food they need to thrive every single day. So they assemble pre-made meals at the food bank of the Rockies kitchen and then send them to after-school clubs and community centers. What an amazing person you are.
Oh,
Thanks for being here, Chef.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, Chef, what does a day at the food bank of the Rockies look like for you?
So our day starts at 5 a.m. where we come in, we start getting food ready, we start prepping for the production for the rest of the day. We get volunteers in the morning. My staff works tirelessly throughout the day, and by the end of the day at about 4 o'clock, we have made 2,600 meals for children. It's gonna get sent out the next day, and we've prepped some of the food and done the bigger cooking for the next day's prep and portioning.
So you're all angels, is what you're saying. You're all angels. That's amazing. Okay, so share this recipe that you brought with us today. What is this going to be?
Is aloo gobi. So we try to do a few things with the culturally responsive thought. So this is actually an Indian dish that we make. I love this. I'm making a little bit of fall version.
Okay.
It's potatoes and cauliflower. I've got sweet potatoes and a little bit of butternut squash instead.
Beautiful.
So I'm going to put this together. This is a really, really quick, fast, easy recipe to go. So I'm going to get started here. I'm going to get this moving. Make sure that's
And as you do this, why do you think it's important to provide meals that include these fresh, whole ingredients, especially for the kids?
So when we're feeding children, we're always thinking about what we can get them to help with development. They're trying to learn. They're in school the whole time.
Yeah.
And so we really want them to get as much of their education as possible. And children don't learn when they're hungry,
yeah,
when
they're
hungry. Starving. They can't actually get anything out of that.
So you did chopped up onions and then a little tomatoes?
So it's chopped red onions. This is tomatoes and peppers, the can you buy from the store.
Just a can?
I don't like having to buy a bunch of different ingredients.
Right.
I like canned ingredients because they last a little while.
Okay, next one.
In here, I've got about a teaspoon of garam masala, a half teaspoon of ground ginger, a little bit of cumin, and some salt. I'm just gonna cook that down really fast.
Beautiful.
And then the other part that's really fun that I like about this dish is I bought cilantro for this, but I'm not using the tops. This is you actually use the bottom of the cilantro.
Oh, really?
And you get a little bit more flavor out of that. So it's gonna go in. Quite a bit's gonna go in.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cook that down real fast.
Okay, so you put this all in and get a nice saute going. Are you on a medium heat, medium high?
High heat.
High heat.
High heat the whole time.
Okay, gotcha.
And we get this nice, beautiful color out of this.
Yeah, look at that.
And there's this smell that's coming out of this.
I mean, it's divine, you guys.
Throwing up. So again, whole fresh ingredients, but this is, the bottoms of the cilantro that generally hit the trash can.
For sure.
Put it in a
Saving
dish.
there.
Save it. Push it a little bit farther.
Nice.
Over here, I've got my sweet potatoes and my cauliflower. I have steamed these beforehand because they take a little bit longer.
Okay.
I'm just gonna take this and drop this in.
This is sweet potatoes, steamed sweet potatoes.
Okay. And butternut squash.
Nice.
A little bit of cauliflower.
Wow, this is so healthy.
And then I started out with a little bit of ghee in here, so a little bit of clarified butter. But if I wanted to make this vegan, I can throw a little bit of olive oil or just use any kind of vegetable oil. That works, and I have a pretty solid dish here.
Nice, and it's so quick that you've done it so quickly.
This is so fast. I started with raw onions, I had the tomatoes from the can, I did cook with the bigger vegetables. I cheated a little bit there.
Right.
Television magic I get to do. So I get to have a little fun with that.
Amazing.
But then,
yeah, please.
we have a nice,
It smells divine.
But it's a healthy side dish. It's clean vegetables, it's got a lot of taste. And it's something with these flavors that we're finding that kids are diving into.
I bet.
Having a little bit more flavor and getting away from the PB&Js.
Yeah.
So we're trying to have this.
And getting the colorful aspect
Colorful, it's pretty. Here we go.
Look at that, you guys, that was so quickly done. And can I ask you, why is it so important for you personally, Chef Jon, to be part of the Food Bank of the Rockies?
So cooking and food is my passion. I love food more than anything else. I read books on this when I go home. I go home and happily cook dinner.
You're a foodophile.
I'm obsessed, right?
Got it.
But this is the place where I get to cross that passion and help somebody.
That's amazing.
And being able to turn my passion and my want to cook and my love of food into a way to help children, to help the community, is the best way, and it gives me a lot of purpose in my life.
That's amazing.
I am ecstatic to be able to work for Food Bank of the Rockies, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity that they give me and the privilege I have of feeding these children.
And the kids are very happy to have you, Chef Jon.
Lovely.
That's very true. Okay, you can do your part to make sure that everyone has a nutritious meal today. Pick up the phone right now and give to 9 Cares Colorado Shares. The number is 303-577-2080. That number again, 303-577-2080.